Okay, so now moving on to strengths. This is the final theme that I'm going to be talking about, and I'm basically going to just list the personal strengths that I believe I've developed this year, sort of some of the theories behind how I've used it and gone about my strengths, and also how I can use them in the future and why I feel like they're really, really important. Okay, so first of all, I would like to talk about my strengths-based approach that I've used. So it focuses on identifying and leveraging existing strengths rather than solely fixing on weaknesses. And that's by Peterson and Seligman 2004. Okay, so that's my theory. So that's something I've had back in my head whilst, going over my strengths. But firstly, I'll just talk about what my strengths are before I dive into how I've used the strength-based approach. So confidence, I've gained that through networking, my research presentation, and my professional exposure. Public speaking, I've improved that again through sort of the networking and some joining in industry discussions at events and stuff like that. My critical thinking and reflection is a strength of mine that I'm actually really proud of this year, and that's been enhanced through the self-evaluation, reading books, sort of reflecting month upon month, week upon week, day on day, and really looking at myself internally and having them sort of self-discussions with myself. Hard work and determination, that's through balancing my academics, my internship, my work, and my personal growth. Being able to do all of that stuff is not easy, and I've done quite well this year, I would say. So I think that's a real good strength of mine. My time management, never late, always turn up, always there, and that's not easy. Again, juggling all these things to be able to do all that, it's not easy, but it's something I've done very well. And I think, throughout this year, I've just stayed resilient and positive just throughout the whole year, and I've always sort of maintain that self-development and that physical wellness, and that just shows and it's helped me become more resilient. So they're my strengths. So that's what I believe my strengths are, and that have helped me this year. Okay, but using that strength-based approach is the strengths that you already have, is harnessing them and not focusing on weaknesses. So going into this year and these blocks at uni, I knew what my strengths were. My strengths were all of them, but I wouldn't say they were like my best strengths. They weren't like really, really strong. But whereas now I'm like, all these strengths are real strengths of mine now. They're like up there, right up. They were here, now they're up here. Okay, so I've been building on my existing strengths using confidence and public speaking skills in networking events and presentations. So I was good at that anyway. I was doing a little bit of that, but I've taken it to another level and I feel really confident with that. The continuous learning, so enhancing knowledge through the self-improvement books and the reflective practice, that's another one. The real world application, so applying my resilience, my professionalism, determination in my sports science internship. So I've taken everything I've done and I'm putting it in the real world. And then fostering my well-being, so using my exercise to boost my mental and physical health and reinforcing my overall performance as a person. I look at, with my job and my internship, I look at performance and how we can improve performance in athletes, but also you can look at it yourself as a person, performance as in your performance in all your different things that you're doing in your life, in your friendships, everything. So yeah, and finally, my networking and relationship building, leveraging my social skills to create professional connections and opportunities. So I've got a lot more things coming up with that. I've done a lot of things that have improved that. And that's just been me and how I've used the strengths-based approach, just to keep pushing on my strengths and not just keeping having 20 good strengths that are just level. I've literally worked on these strengths, and now some of them are real strengths of mine, and some real positives that I can take into jobs coming up and other things like that. And the strengths-based approach is something that I'll continue to use throughout the rest of my life, I imagine, because it's helped me enormously. There is a time to look at your weaknesses, definitely, but this stage in my life where I need to improve really quickly, I feel like the strength-based approach has really helped me. So yeah, that's a big positive. And finally, just wanted to sort of talk about briefly. It's been 4 great blocks, been a big year, and CPD and the 92p has actually really allowed me to look back and evaluate what I've done this year, how I've been successful, where I've not been successful, and you know, have that reflection time, which is really needed. You know, you get caught up in life and it just spins. But now I've been looking at this and done this work, I've really been able to reflect big time. And I was doing something I was doing anyway, but to really look back over a year and go, yeah, you know what, this has been good, this has been bad, and identify them. And now I know where I've got to take, what I've got to take into next year, into whatever comes my way next year. So yeah, I want to say thanks for the opportunity, and yeah, got to keep pushing on, keep doing what I'm doing, and I look forward to next year. So thank you very much.